I'm Crystal Stranahan, and today we're talking about graphic design basics. What is the goal of design? It's to communicate effectively and to guide the reader from your most essential points to a clear call to action. First, you need to get clear, then you can get creative. It's fun to jump into cool fonts and fun images, but you'll save time if you get clear first about what 3 points you want to make. Be clear about the essential points you want to make. Don't sacrifice clarity to be clever. Know who your audience is and tailor your message so that they can understand it. You need to create a focal point. The most important factor between a page that gets seen and a page that gets ignored is a compelling focal point. See how your eye was drawn to the clipboard? Now, see the difference when there's no focal point? The eye just floats around looking for somewhere to start. Use basic design elements to draw the reader's eye where you want it to go. Your most essential points. There are different elements you can use. You can use color, scale, and space. Okay, close your eyes for a second. Now, when you open them, notice where your eye went first. See how the color draws the eye when everything else is the same? Don't just add color indiscriminately. Use it deliberately to draw the eye to an important element, like a call to action. You can also use scale. Notice how your eye is drawn to the largest element on the page. Make sure your essential points are bigger than the rest of the text. Find one element to pop off the page as a focal point. This is good. But this is even better. Really make that focal point stand out. Can you see the Z on this page? Here's how scale works with text only. Lean back in your chair. Do the largest words tell you the most important points? This is another example of how the eye roams when there's no focal point. Close your eyes and then open them, and see where your eye goes first. The eye roams slightly and then goes to the top left corner. Close your eyes again and open them. Does your eye go to the open space? Sometimes the eye will go to an element just because it's different than everything else on the page. Design is all about managing where the reader's eye will go. Where does your eye go this time? Mine bounces from space to space and then to the word space. Now that we know we can use elements to draw the eye on the page, let's look at a Z layout, which follows the natural path the eye flows on a page. Basically, we're lining up elements in the order that we read, from left to right, then down, and left to right. In this example of a website page, we've placed the essential elements along the Z shape. Close your eyes, and then open them. Does your eye go to the red logo across to the menu items? It might go straight to the Act Now button because it has a dynamic color, but most likely if you're skimming, it goes to the first text block on the bottom left. Let's try using a grid and the Z layout, using a few different elements: a headline, an image, and some text. You speak Latin, right? Using the grid, line up items so it looks tidy and easy to read. Now ignore the left text and just consider the layout. You have your awesome headline, an image that pulls the eye back to the left, and then your text. At the bottom right, the end of the Z, you have a strong element in red for the call to action. Now, can you see how the main elements follow the Z shape? Let's look at an alternative layout that still follows the Z. Scan the layout. Does your eye go to the headline and then the image of the women talking? After that, it should go to the next level of information from left to right, ending with the call to action button. See the Z? It doesn't follow the Z exactly, but the elements follow the flow of the Z. Now let's talk about how design affects your brand. Every piece of communication you create helps to develop your brand. What does yours say? Now that you're clear about your message and you know how to lay it out to draw the eye to important elements, let's get creative. What's your style? Be sure to check out our Branding Solutions module to explore this topic in more depth. One of the basic elements of design is font and alignment. No matter what design program you use, controls for these elements are always easily accessible. Style is often subjective, but a few aspects are generally universal. When it comes to fonts, the rule is keep it simple. Pick two, a heavy bold weight for headlines and a text or normal or medium weight for text. You can mix a serif headline font with a sans serif text and vice versa. It's easy to get carried away having fun experimenting with fonts, but remember, never sacrifice readability to be fancy. Get to know the rule of thirds. Divide your space into 9 equal blocks. Research has shown that filling these blocks in thirds makes the most pleasing design. For instance, the slide is divided into 3 segments. The first 2 segments are white and the third is yellow. It's not the only ratio you can use, but for a quick layout that looks smart and professional, you can't go wrong with the rule of thirds. You can also create islands of interest. When you have a lot of elements, group them together in islands so you don't have a lot of white space running between them. Don't spread them all over the page like this. And also, don't crowd the edges. Give it some elbow room. In this example, we've combined all the little flowers, which could also be icons, and stacked the island graphic and the headline close together so they appear as one element. If the boxed element feels too constrained or too, boxed in for your tastes, then you can think outside the box, literally. You can have elements, such as the palm tree, disrupt the structure of the box. The box helps the eye take in all the smaller elements. The tree breaks that structure just a little and pulls the 2 pieces together. Here's another example of creating structure, the type in columns. Then having an element disrupt the structure. The structure gives order, and the disrupting element gives it a little life. There are many different professional tools you can use to design things. Be sure to download the worksheet, which has links to more resources you can use. As you dive into more design elements, you'll likely run into unfamiliar terms. Be sure to download the worksheet, which includes a glossary list. It's your turn. It's time to practice designing something. Maybe a social media post image that announces your new book, or the hero image on your website that will send people to download your free book? Maybe it's a flyer announcing your book launch. First, let's get clear on what you're trying to communicate. Write down your 3 major points and identify your call to action. What is it you want your reader to do? Now get creative. Practice playing with fonts and different layouts. Do a search for brochure layouts or designs or whatever project you're working on and pull examples that catch your eye. Follow the layout but substitute your own text and images. And remember, follow the Z. I hope you've enjoyed this module on design basics. There are 5 additional modules in this series: author branding, author logos, color palettes, typography, and taglines, so be sure to check those out as well. Thank you for being a part of this Creative Academy event. If you're not a member yet, join us today and unlock a wealth of resources, masterclasses, feedback opportunities, and online community events designed to help you reach the next step in your writing journey. No matter what stage you're at, we've got a helping hand to guide you along the way. Check out our free resource room if you'd like to get a taste of how we can help you reach your writing and publishing goals. Thank you for bringing us along on your writing and publishing journey, and Donna, Eileen, and I hope we'll see you around the Creative Academy soon.